Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs and the first questions about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It's approved the plan for the conduct of the Joint Border Operation Friendship 2022. The eighth meeting of the heads of the border services of the member states, the SCO, was recently held in, New Delhi, in our country. But I would want you to write a little about the SCO before we discuss these kind of choices here. Why don't you write SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Okay. Uh, Head office Shanghai, obviously, isn't it? Head office Shanghai. That is where the secretariat is. I mean, that's where the Secretary General sits. Next, eight members. Eight members. Eight members. Russia, India, China, Pakistan. Easy to remember. Russia, India, China, Pakistan. Then Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Okay, guys, these are the eight members. Now, it has official dialogue partners like Iran. Iran most likely will become a member sometime next year, but as of now, it's a dialogue partner. It's an observer state. You know, so you have the eight members: Russia, India, China, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Now, you could also write Secretary General. Secretary General. You find all the eight countries in this logo here. Secretary General. At this. Secretary General is Zhang Ming. Zhang Ming of China. Of China. Zhang Ming of China. See, this is Russia. Of course, India is not mentioned in this. This is the original logo. Okay. 2 India, 3 China, 4 Pakistan, 5 Kazakhstan. Then this is Kyrgyzstan. 6, 7 is what is this called? Tajikistan. 8 is Turkmenistan. Okay. Sorry, Uzbekistan. I'm so sorry. 8 is Uzbekistan. Okay, this is where you have Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is not a member, so just avoid it. Okay. You could also write 2022 SCO Summit. Summit. That is where the heads of the governments would meet. Yeah, of these 8 members would meet. This would be in the Uzbekistan city of Samarkand. Samarkand. Okay. What about the choices? You see this Nur Sultan. It's a capital of Kazakhstan. Capital of Kazakhstan. You already written it. Kazakhstan. Tashkent is the capital of Uzbekistan. Okay. And Dushanbe is the capital of Tajikistan. I think you wrote this as well. Tajikistan. Okay. Chalo, that's about the SCO. Whom the following has recently been appointed as the new ambassador and permanent representative of India to the UN? Cambodge, Ruchira Cambodge. Okay. Not much to discuss here except the fact that we will look at the UN. It has 193 members. and 2 observer states. (193 members and 2 observer states. So, what are these observer states? Vatican City and Palestine. Okay, guys. As you know, we always add value wherever we find something interesting. Like you have choice 4 there, Vinay Mohan Katra. He's a new Foreign Secretary of Government of India. He's a Foreign Secretary of India. Which company is shutting down its oldest Internet Explorer browser after 27 years of service? Well, Microsoft is shutting down Internet Explorer. This is being succeeded by Edge. After Internet Explorer, there is Edge. Okay. Coming to these companies, you could write head office Redmond, Washington State. Redmond, Washington State. Okay. CEO is Satya Nadella. Chairman and CEO is Satya Narayana Nadella or Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella. Next. Facebook's now called Meta. The parent company of Facebook is Meta. Okay. Meta is headquartered in Menlo Park. These are all American companies, so we'll just go with the idea that this is a town, Menlo Park, in the state of California. And the CEO is Mark Zuckerberg. Next, IBM's run from this small town called Armonk in the New York State. And the CEO is a person of Indian origin, Arvind Krishna. Apple, headquartered in Cupertino, California State. CEO is Tim Cook. Okay, now let's look at something more. Google's parent company is Alphabet. The parent company of Google is Alphabet. Its CEO is Sundar Pichai. Oh, we have been writing the head office first, no? Never mind. Then the head office is in a place called Mountain View, California State. Good. So, which Indian company topped the 2021 Burgundy Private Hurun India list of 500 most valuable companies? Valuable in terms of share value, okay, market capitalization. It is Reliance Industries. So how do you get market capitalization? Market capitalization is number of issued shares. There are two ways of counting it. Issued shares multiplied by market price. Sometimes only, see, if a company has issued 1 lakh shares, not all the 1 lakh would be available for trading. Okay, so some experts say that we should not take all the number of issued shares. We should take only shares that are available for trading. In that case, the equation would be number of floating shares or number of shares available for trading, which are called floating shares. Number of floating shares, which are shares available for trading, into market price. So there are two ways of counting it. Okay, arriving at market capitalization. So market capitalization of Reliance Industries is the highest in India. See, this is being recorded on 29th June, the day before your class. This is late afternoon, and I want you to understand that as of now, as of yesterday, I will always would see yesterday rather than today. Okay, because yesterday at market close, how much was the value of Reliance shares? Well, you could look at this. Top 3 Indian companies by market cap. Top 3 by market cap. 1. Reliance Industries. 17 lakh crore rupees. I'm taking round figures. So when I say 17 lakh crore rupees, it's like, the value of one share of Reliance is X amount. So you multiply that with the number of shares that have been issued. We'll go with that. Okay. So the value of all the shares of Reliance is 17 lakh crore rupees. Now, if 100% is 17 lakh crore rupees, how much is the value of, the shares owned by Mukesh Ambani? Mukesh Ambani owns about 52% of this company. So 52% of 17 lakh crore rupees is the value of his shares. That's it. Okay. Second is TCS. For today, it is 12 lakh crore rupees. 3. HDFC Bank. Oh, it's a mega bank. HDFC Bank, 7.45 lakh crore rupees. 7.45 lakh crore rupees. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Yes. So these are India's 3 biggest companies by market capitalization, by value. Now, which is India's biggest private sector employer? You could write this if you want to. India's biggest private sector employer, TCS. Biggest private sector employer or private employer. According to this list, the total, I went through this entire list, this Burgundy here in India list. Okay, so I can go by the exact number, 5.07 lakh employees. So TCS has 5.07 lakh employees, a little over 5 lakh 7,000 employees. Yeah. Now, which is India's most profitable company? The most profitable company, see, the biggest company by turnover is Reliance Industries. Also, the biggest company by profit is Reliance. 54,000 crore was the profit of Reliance Industries last year. Last financial year, 54,000 crore rupees. You understand that? Yeah. Profit. 50 most profitable private sector company, Reliance Industries. Now, in fact, both private and public sector, the most profitable company in India is Reliance Industries. Sashidhar Jagadishan, HDFC Bank CEO. Aditya Birla Group. How do you know Aditya Birla Group? You know Ultratech Cement, Grasim, Hindalco, Pantaloons. Okay, it owns Madura Garments, which owns companies like Van Heusen, Louis Philippe, Peter England, Alan Solly brands. Then this company called Vodafone Idea. The Idea part comes from Aditya Birla. Idea was a company owned by Aditya Birla Group. Now it's a joint venture partner in Vodafone Idea. The chairperson of Aditya Birla is Kumar Mangalam Birla. Kumar Mangalam Birla is, is an MBA from London Business School and also a chartered accountant. Yeah. TCS Rajesh Gopinathan, TCS, Adani Group, um, Gautam Adani. I was at Ahmedabad airport day before yesterday, and I found about 7 planes of Adani Group, small, big, all kinds of things. 7 private planes. Yeah, it's a huge group now. As per the Cantor Brands 2022 report, with the brand value of about $947 billion to its name, which is the most valuable brand in the world, Apple. Okay, so let's write the names of the top 5 brands. You write this title, Cantor Brands. Okay. 1. Apple. You don't really require the value because these numbers keep changing. So number 1, Apple. We already mentioned the CEO's name, isn't it? Number 2, Google. If I'm not wrong, it's a little over 819. Yeah. Amazon is a little over 700. Number 4, Microsoft. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 5th one is a Chinese company, Tencent. You know, WeChat and all that. This company owns WeChat. Tencent, which is about 214 something, if I'm not wrong. So there's a huge gap between the 4th ranker and the 5th ranker. Yeah. So the highest ranked non-American brand is Tencent of China. That's about it. Which Indian institution's IT resource has been declared a critical information infrastructure under Section 70 of the Information Act 2000 by the Union Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology? All 3 of them. ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, National Payments Corporation of India, which runs the UPI interface, BHIM and all that, are owned by NPCI. Okay. Sandeep Bakshi, before I tell you a little more about these banks, Sandeep Bakshi, you know this, Sashidhar Jagdishan. NPCI is Dilip Asbe. Okay, now I want you to write something more which is not related to this question but in a different sense. Yes, here it's mentioned critical information infrastructure. What IT of these 3? IT infrastructure of this. So I want you to write domestically, systemically important banks. Systemically important banks. Domestic, systemically important banks. There are 3 in India. 1, State Bank of India. 2, HDFC Bank. 3, ICICI Bank. Okay. Next, at DSIB, you could write this. DSIB are large enough that they cannot be allowed to fail. Fail, that they cannot be allowed to fail. Next, leave one nice space. A DSIB is a bank that must have assets, assets exceeding 2% of India's GDP, India's gross domestic product. India's gross domestic product. So we got some extra stuff out of this. Means they're way too big to be allowed to fail, because huge companies that these are, the amount of money they hold, the amount of assets they hold, the kind of spread they have, yeah, they are the mediums for purchase of government bonds, shares, and all that. So if one of these banks collapses, it would have a devastating impact on the financial landscape in India. So the government of India expects these banks to put more money aside in terms of capital adequacy. So these banks are expected to keep more money, through capital adequacy. So if let's say it's 100 rupees for a normal bank, for these banks it would be 150 rupees. So you have to keep aside a lot more because you are too big now. Yeah. As part of which operation was the Indian Navy's stealth frigate INS Talwar deployed in the Gulf for the protection of India's maritime interests. See, Operation Sankalp is mentioned here. I want you to write one line about it. Please write. Operation Sankalp aims to ensure safe trade movement of Indian ships, Indian commercial ships, okay, in the Persian Gulf, Gulf. See, about 34% of the world's oil passes through this Persian Gulf. This is the Persian Gulf here. This is Iran, this is the UAE and Oman. This narrow channel of water, which is about 34 kilometers at its widest, at its narrowest, okay, this small stretch of water is called the Hormuz Strait. Remember, a strait is a narrow channel of water that separates two land bodies. Hormuz Strait. Okay. Yeah. So, regarding the choices, I couldn't find much actually. World Refugee Day is celebrated on 20th June every year. Which of the following nations is associated with the refugee crisis? All of them actually. Syria's had a long civil war that started in 2011. So since 2011 till date, it's now things are okay, slightly okay, but things had been pretty bad in the past. Millions of people from Syria, Afghanistan, all these countries have left. For example, if you look at the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's in the heart of Africa. You'll find the DRC here, a huge country. It's a huge country. In fact, it is the second biggest country in Africa by area. Okay, so there is a conflict here in the east of the country between rebels that belong to different tribes. This is more of a tribal ethnic conflict here. The Hutus, the Tutsis, the Kiwus, plenty of them actually. Yeah, there are many terrorist groups here called like M23. That's one major one. Okay, then there is this Hutu militia, then the Tutsi militia. I spend a lot of time learning these things. I don't want you to be burdened with names actually, but yes, things are pretty bad. This is one of the world's most prosperous countries, one of the most naturally well endowed countries in terms of ores, bauxite, all that stuff. But things are pretty bad in this country. Yeah. Um, Syria's president is, okay, capital Damascus, and the president is Bashar al Assad. Bashar al Assad. This guy came to power in 1999 after his father's death. Okay, before him, his elder brother had died in an accident. But this guy is an ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist. His face looks like an ostrich's face. Watch it. Look it up once. Okay. Afghanistan, you know that Afghanistan doesn't have a full-time prime minister. They have an interim prime minister, Hassan Akhund. Hassan Akhund is the interim prime minister of Afghanistan. Okay, and the capital is Kabul, which is on the banks of the river Kabul. DRC, it was previously called Zaire. एक जमाने में when I was in school it used to be called Zaire. Okay, so old name Zaire, and the capital is Kinshasa. Kinshasa, and the president is Felix Tshisekedi. Felix Tshisekedi. Let's clear this. South Sudan is south of Sudan. Yeah, it's the youngest country in Africa. South Sudan's capital is Juba. The president is Salva Kiir Mayardit. That's the president. Myanmar has a military government in place. The capital is Naypyidaw. Naypyidaw. And the military leader, or the president if you may call him, is Min Liang Ong. See, DRC, about 6.5 lakh people have fled recently in the east of the country. But if you look at the overall crisis, millions of people have been displaced because of the civil war. So please understand, internet displaced persons are refugees within their own country, like the Kashmiri Pandits in our country. Okay, and if you look at refugees, actually, technically a refugee is defined as someone who's left, who cannot go back to their country because they fear persecution, some kind of arrest or some kind of discrimination because of change in differences in religion, caste, language, ethnicity, or simply political opinion. Yeah, so things are pretty bad in large parts of the world. There's a power cut, but it come back. So, but I think as far as this class is concerned, we are getting on with the business. Who among the following persons has authored the book titled Bharatiya Samvidhan, Ankahi Kahani? Ram Bahadur Roy. This Ram Bahadur Roy book was released by Prime Minister Modi, if I'm not wrong. Mridula Garg, she is a veteran writer, pretty controversial actually at one point. She was jailed also, but then that was only for a brief period. One book you could write, Miljul Man. Gitanjali Shri Ret Samadhi. She won the International Booker Prize, because this Ret Samadhi is called the Tomb of Sand in English. It was translated by Daisy Rockwell, but enough, you're right. Indra Dangi. Indra Dangi is a writer of multiple books. One is Haveli Sanatanapur. Haveli Sanatanpur. Chala. The Union government recently cleared the appointment of chief justices in 5 high courts, which the following page is correctly mentioned. All of them are correctly matched. These are the new chief justices of these high courts. So you could write this: high courts in India. High courts in India. High courts. 1. There are 25 high courts in India. 25 HCs. 2. Oldest. Calcutta High Court. Calcutta HC. And that was 2nd July, if I'm not wrong, 1862, or 1st July. 2nd July. 2nd July 1862. See, in 1862, 3 high courts were established. First, Calcutta High Court. Second was the Bombay High Court on 14th August. Yeah. And the Madras High Court on 15th August. But you remember the oldest one, that's enough. Youngest, you could write youngest. Telangana High Court, 2nd June 2014, if I'm not wrong. No. 2014, I'm so sorry. That is the Telangana formation. Telangana High Court, 1st January 2019. I'm so sorry, guys. 1st January 2019. Okay, yeah. That's when the AP High Court was split. Okay, and you could, in that sense, you could also say that AP High Court also became a reality on 1st January 2019. AP High Court. So 2 high courts were born on the 1st of January 2019. Both belong to, they are of the Telugu speaking states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Which institution has been conferred with the 2021 UNESCO King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa Prize? Okay, it is CIT of NCERT. NCERT's full form is National Council. You're right, National Council of Educational Research. National Council of Educational Research and Training. Educational Research and Training. Educational Research and Training. Then, see, the 2 entities that won this prize, UNESCO King Hamad Prize. One was this NCERT, yeah. The second one was this, you write this, digital education. Digital education. I'm trying to get the power back. Something's wrong there. Digital educational program. Tanzania. I'm going slow there. You know, Tanzania is a country in Africa, East Africa. Yeah. So 2 entities won this prize. One was NCERT, and the second was this digital education program of Tanzania. Okay. See there, Central Rice Research Institute or National Rice Research Institute is mentioned. This is in Cuttack. Yeah, Cuttack. This is in Cuttack. This is in Bangalore. Usually they ask these two, not those ICMR, Delhi wala. Which of the following statements regarding Colombia are true? Gustavo Petro, well, all of them are right. Gustavo Petro is the new president of Colombia, and this is Colombia, guys. Okay, this is the only country in the world to be named after Christopher Columbus. Okay, Christopher Columbus, and you see here, yeah, this is a country that joins South America with, you could say, North America or Central America. Yeah, it's North America. So all these are right. And Colombia at one point was the drug capital of the world. Drug capital of the world. There were cities like Medellin and Cali. These two cities here in Colombia were the drug capitals of the world. If you have watched this Netflix series called Narcos, there are two seasons of Narcos 1 and 2 on Colombian drug cartels, and there is Narcos Mexico also. That's a good series, but this is a great series. Narcos, simply Narcos 1 and 2, great series. They are, stories, they are stories of these drug cartels. And there's a lot of violence in this series. That's the only thing, but negative thing. But yeah, the drug mafia would mean that yes, there is always, violence. You see this countries here, Colombia. We know we have heard of Colombia here. Ecuador. Ecuador's see the capital is mentioned here, Quito, and Ecuador is the only country in the world to be named after equator. Okay, this is the equator. You can see this is the equator. This is the equator. And the president, you write the name of the president, Guillermo Lasso. Guillermo Lasso. Okay. Then Venezuela. Venezuela, you could write two things about Venezuela. One, President Nicolas Maduro. And the second one is world's biggest petroleum reserves. World's biggest petroleum reserves. It has the highest petroleum reserves in the world. Yet this country is experiencing the highest inflation rate in the world. Yeah, things are bad because of bad leadership. Yeah. Would you want to know about one more country? Chalo, there's no harm in learning, isn't it? Peru. Peru, the capital is mentioned here, and the president is Pedro Castillo. Pedro Castillo. Pedro Castillo. Okay. The 8th edition of the International Day of Yoga was being celebrated on 21st June. Okay, it's mentioned there. I'm not going to discuss this anyway. Yeah. The Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri launched an innovative project named Nipun, which stands for National Initiative for Promoting Upskilling of Nirman Workers. Nirman means construction, building. So you could write this Nipun dash to train 1 lakh construction workers. To train 1 lakh construction workers. Yeah. Construction sector in India is pretty large, very large. What with the government spending, lakhs of crores of rupees on building new highways and all. Plus the construction industry itself is a big, very, very big employer. But if people have better skills, yeah, they would be, they would do that much better in this sector. So the government's looking at upskilling of these people with the latest technologies, latest measures, practices and all that stuff. Yeah. Which of the following persons or institution, oh, by the way, this Nipun, you could write, is under Deen Dayal Upadhyay or Deen Dayal Antyodaya. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana dash National Urban Livelihoods Mission. National Livelihoods Mission. Okay, National Urban Livelihoods Mission. Which of the following persons or institutions have been conferred with the Prime Minister's Award for outstanding contribution for the promotion of yoga that's been announced for the previous year? Okay, all of them actually. There's not much for me to discuss. There are some questions about which I can discuss nothing except for what's already there on the screen for you. Yeah. So if you just for revision's sake, can you please just write Ladakh's governor is Radhakrishna Mathur, not governor, Lieutenant Governor Radhakrishna Mathur. Uttarakhand's chief minister is Pushkar Singh Dhami. Pushkar Singh Dhami. Brazil's president is Jair Bolsonaro. American Caleb Dressel grabbed his 15th World Championship gold medal and is second in 2 days at the FINA World Championship in Budapest. Dressel is associated with swimming. Well, you know what? He's won 7 Olympic gold medals. Till date, he has won 7 Olympic gold medals, 5 of which came at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. Of course, the games were held in 2021, but record-wise, they're 2020. So, if you look at the the Olympic Games, this guy won 5 gold medals in one championship, and he holds Dressel holds world records in 50 meters butterfly, 100 meters, 50 meters freestyle, 100 meters butterfly. Multiple world records he holds. Yeah, some people work extremely hard, which is a good thing. Hey, by the way, do you know this Budapest is the capital of Hungary? Budapest is the capital of Hungary, Hungary. Which airport has bagged the title of the best regional airport in India and South Asia during the prestigious 2022 Skytrax World Airport Awards? Kempegowda International Airport. Yes, this is where I was on Sunday. It's a terrific airport. I could say it's India's best airport. Yeah, the facilities, the food, everything kind of thing. So of course, all these airports in Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, they're all competing for the number one position, but there can only be one generally, only one number one. So this airport is considered the best regional airport in South Asia, and this Bangalore airport, Kempegowda Bangalore Airport, BLR. Okay, what about the world's best? World's best is Hamad International Airport. Hamad Airport in Doha, Qatar. Doha, Qatar, the capital of Qatar. So the world's best airport, by South Asia's best is Kempegowda International Airport. The world's best is Hamad Airport, which is in the capital of Qatar called Doha. Yeah. So Rajiv Gandhi International Airport is in Hyderabad. Which has become the 36th state or union territory to implement one nation, one ration card scheme. Well, okay, it's mentioned there. But you know what is this scheme? Please write. One nation, one ration card scheme, dash, all beneficiaries, comma, especially migrants can get rations like food grains from any PDS store across the nation. Okay, which is good, yeah, because see, otherwise people would have to spend money out of their own pocket. Say, an Assamese migrant in Hyderabad would have to, if this scheme is not there, then the person will have to spend money from his own pocket to buy rice and wheat. Okay, a lot of money at market price. Whereas under this scheme, the same migrant from Assam now can access a PDS store in Hyderabad, and buy stuff at subsidized rates. Yeah, it's a good scheme, very, very good scheme. Rajasthan, India's biggest state by area, is run by Ashok Gehlot. That's the chief minister's name. Ashok Gehlot. Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath. Bihar, Nitish Kumar. Assam, Himanta. Okay, let me write in full. Biswa Sharma. Tamil Nadu, Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin or M.K. Stalin. Whom the following persons will be the BJP-led NDA candidate for the presidential post? Draupadi Murmu. You know, Murmu ji was a school teacher. She began her career as a school teacher. Then she became a college assistant professor, and then she became an assistant, in the engineering department in Odisha government, and later she became an MLA, a minister, then Jharkhand's, governor. And think about it, man. It's an extremely, what to say, successful life. But at a personal level, she suffered a couple of tragedies. Blessed with a daughter and two sons, she lost both her sons in accidents. So she suffered a lot of personal tragedies. Yeah. But she is someone who understands the suffering, because if you read a lot of literature about her, you will find that she was always simple-minded and never the one to throw tantrums and all that stuff. So hopefully she wins. I think she will win. According to the World Gold Council report, India has emerged as the fourth largest recycler of gold in the world. Do you know that? We recycle gold. Fourth at 75 tons. Number one, you could write highest China. Normally I don't put my ranking. I don't put dots after ranks. China's recycled about 180 tons of gold. The best way to write is this. This is the right spelling. Okay, both are right. Number two, not 180. It is 168 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, this is 168. The US, number three. This is Italy. Number two is Italy. Sometimes, so much data going around. Italy, 80 tons. 3, US, 78. India, 75. Fourth. So, fourth rank. Okay? The numbers are right. Yeah, don't worry about this. Final numbers are right. China recycled 168 tons of gold. Italy, 80. US 78, India 75. What is portfolio management? Well, it's about managing different types of investments. Some rich people, high net worth individuals, HNIs they're called. They would not have the time to spend they would not have enough time with them to spend on where to invest, what's the best way to invest, how much to invest, what's the risk associated. So they outsource these services to a professional who manages this portfolio. So you have money, you can always give them, and you manage the show kind of thing. So they would advise you where to invest, how much to invest, and move your assets, investments here and there kind of thing. That's portfolio management. Okay. The collateral security or security accepted at a bank is it has to be adequate, of course. It has to be pretty easy to handle, okay, and readily sellable, free from any kind of encumbrances or restrictions, basically, or claims, essentially claims. So if I put, let's say, this phone, as a security, would it work? Not really. It might cost some thousands of rupees, but it's still not worth. House is a good collateral. Your car is a good collateral. Gold is the best collateral, like that. The best way to understand that word collateral is co is with or together. Lat, L-A-T, is side. So side by side. You put money here, you put the put security. So if you have to lend to me, you would ask me what's in it for me. What if you default? There is a risk that you might default. So something in return. So I put gold here. Okay, side by side you put the money here. So collateral. When is a loan declared as non-performing asset? Simply put, when principal or interest or both are not repaid within 90 days from the due date, a loan turns NPA, non-performing asset. So essentially people skip payments and all that, and there are lakhs of people who escape payments. As of today, the total NPAs in the among public sector banks in India is about 13 lakh crore rupees. 13 lakh crore rupees is the money people have borrowed but have not repaid. Okay, yes. KOSPI is the stock exchange index of Seoul Stock Exchange. Okay, it's pronounced with an E that is silent. Okay, Seoul. So if you want to write, I can give you the names. Maybe in the next class I'll give you all the names actually. Yeah. This full form is Korea Composite Share Price Index. Korea Composite Share Price Index. Okay, that is for Seoul Stock Exchange. Tokyo Nikkei. Singapore ST Index. If you want the full form, Straits Times Index. Hong Kong Hang Seng, that's the name of the index. Frankfurt DAX, Deutsche Aktien Exchange, DAX. Frankfurt is in Germany. See, what's an index? Okay, let me tell you. Let's say there is this list of names of companies here. Okay, in alphabetical order, names of companies are arranged, and this list is called an index. It's given a name. It's given a name, and that the names you see there are the names of the exchanges, names of the indexes in these stock exchanges. Okay, like we have Sensex or Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, now only if a company's name appears in that index can you buy sell shares of that company on that stock exchange. Like in Bombay Stock Exchange, if a company called X is listed. X is listed in Bombay Stock Exchange. X is not listed in National Stock Exchange. It means while you can buy sell shares of X in Bombay Stock Exchange, on the Bombay Stock Exchange, you cannot buy sell shares of X on the National Stock Exchange. So only if the company's name appears in the index can you buy sell shares. The appearance of the name of the company is called listing. It's called listing. It appears in the list. That's why it's called listing. Okay. Maybe as we go further, since I have come back after a 2-week break, we will discuss this further basically. Okay. That's about it. That's all from me, Bharat C. Jain. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious.